Hello and welcome to this week's Chatty Corner, which is a very special one this week. We're not going to be doing things the normal way, so I won't be doing any news this week, and I won't be doing any of your comments this week. They will both be done next week, and they will cover the last week and the next week, so it'll be 2 weeks worth of stuff. So it might be a bit of a longer one next week as a result, but we'll see how that goes down. This week, however, is going to be something a little bit different, a little bit special. This week, I'm going to talk about my channel, where the channel's been, where the channel is now, and where I intend to take the channel in future. The reason for this is because it is my anniversary. In 2009, February the 19th, 2009, I uploaded my first ever Let's Play part. So around that time, I wasn't really doing much, and I ended up playing a lot of my old games to pass the time. Ended up kind of looking at stuff on YouTube about those games and discovering the whole Let's Play concept and started thinking this seems pretty cool. Got together some money, got myself an easy cap, and started recording. And it was terrible. In fact, because I'm actually going to go through the history of the channel, and we'll sort of examine a few different things here and there. Obviously, I started with Portal, which was a short LP. It was just a way to sort of test the waters and do something relatively short, and I didn't really need to commit myself to for very long, just to sort of test things out. It's awful, don't watch it. It's still there, but don't watch it. Don't you dare watch it, because if you watch it, then I don't know what to say to you. If you want to sit through that mess, then that's your decision, but I would rather not put you through that torture. I'm serious. That LP is terrible. When I started, the problem I had was that, first of all, I didn't really know how microphones worked, so that's good. And so I thought, oh, I've got to have it right up against my face, because then it'll pick me up, and then it picked me up far too well. I would do it on this mic, but the way that this headset is set up, it's really hard to, maneuver the thing right in my face. And it was riddled with technical issues. I recorded using Adobe Audition rather than Audacity. Audacity is a nice simple program to record audio with because it doesn't take up a lot of memory while you're doing things. It just runs it through, whereas Audition tends to use up a lot of memory, and as a result it was dropping a lot of stuff, and I had to kind of piece things together. Editing took forever. The quality's bad, just everything's... The commentary is bad because I was nervous. See, here's the thing. One thing that I've been getting a little bit more open about lately on the channel is that I have issues with social anxiety, I have issues with depression, and that kind of thing, and therefore at the time I'd never heard myself talk on a microphone or anything like that, and I was nervous as hell, and it shows because I'm like this the whole time, and that's not really good. Obviously, you can tell that that's not a problem anymore, because this is how I'm talking to you right now. So yeah, Portal's there. It's there as a historical artifact. It is not there for anyone's enjoyment. Yeah, that's why I haven't taken it down, because I'm just like, it's archiving. It's there for people to see, like, the humble beginnings, but it's not there for your entertainment. So after that was done, I decided to start playing a game that I'd never played before, and started playing Okami, although I kept insisting on calling it Okami at the time, because, okay, this comes from the title screen, and when you select the game you get that little voice that says Okami, and I went with that, and I thought, that seems reasonable, but the consensus seems to be that if you're an English speaker, then Okami is kind of the accepted pronunciation, and it's how I feel more comfortable saying it these days as well. So I did that. That took forever to do. That was a stupid idea. So, Okami had a number of issues. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to badmouth that LP at all. It started out with me still having a lot of the problems that I had with Portal, the technical issues, the really bad commentary, but it was starting to pick up a little bit better, starting to get a bit more used to talking on a microphone. My problem with that LP was the fact that it was so long, and it went on for so long, and I didn't know what I was doing, that it felt like a chore to keep doing it. Don't get me wrong, Okami itself is a great game, but when you're trying to learn the game for the first time, at least in my case, learning the game for the first time while simultaneously trying to play the whole game for the internet, I don't really like doing it, because it wasn't very fun by the end of it, and the longer it went on, the more annoyed I got with it. I have played the game since all that went down, and thoroughly enjoyed it in its normal state, but yeah, I'm not doing it. That is why I will never do a blind LP again. It was my second ever LP. I did it in 2009, went into 2010, took me a whole year. It finished in February 2010. But also, while that was going on, for most of 2009, I actually went through my channel and had a look. What were my LPs like? When did I do things? How did I... Right. I was doing tons of stuff in 2009. I was simultaneous, as well as doing Okami for most of the year. I decided I was going to do the Sonic series. I was going to do the whole of the main Sonic series. And Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic Adventure. Those ran through from March up to September, and then I just dropped the whole project. I did start Sonic Adventure 2, but I made about 2 parts of it, and then went, can't be bothered. So I just stopped it and didn't go any further with that. That's fine. But also in April 2009 I started Final Fantasy X-2, and that ran all the way through to October, and so all 3 of those things were running at the same time, and that was kind of crazy. I don't know what the hell I was putting myself through with that one. But I did it. Also, I noticed that I took 2 months out of Okami in November and December. Don't know why, but I did. Also did my Halloween special of Fatal Frame in October as well. That was quite good. My thoughts on those things. The Sonic stuff wasn't really very good, to be perfectly honest. I don't feel particularly proud of any of that stuff. Final Fantasy X-2 I liked. There was a lot of stuff I liked about that. Still a lot of issues that I have with it now. It's just one of those things where you look back at stuff that you did back in the past and you're just like, no. I don't like that anymore. But there's still good things. There's still good things in Okami as well. Because I still, to this day, like to reference the Isun voice that I did, because I really like doing that voice. And it is forever the Isun voice, and I'm not going to call it anything else. So it does have some historical significance. Fatal Frame was a pretty good LP. I know I made a ton of Ghostbusters jokes in there. That was interesting. But then I think after I'd done that, I wanted to take a break from Okami, and I did Uncharted. My first Uncharted LP was November 2009. That feels like an age away. I know. That's just crazy. I'm just looking at that and just, really? It was that long ago? I thought it was a lot more recent, but no. I did Uncharted, and that ran into March 2010. Don't know how I feel about the Uncharted 1 LP anymore. It's really bad quality, and I can't remember if it was any good or not. I haven't really watched it lately. It was alright, I think. But yeah. Little Big Planet, I enjoyed doing Little Big Planet. Did that in November, December 2009. That I enjoyed. Again, just like everything else, it's kind of one of those things where it's alright. Not my best. I've done a lot better in more recent years, but whatever. I know I had a lot of fun doing it. I know with that I also planned on doing like co-op stuff that never actually panned out because I didn't really think it through. This is going to become a pattern as we go through the history of me not thinking things through. And yeah, in December I did my first advent calendar. That was where the idea came from. I just decided I want to do something for Christmas because I did something for Halloween. So I did that, and it was good. And I also, at the end of it, said I'm going to vote. I'm going to get people to vote on which one they like the best so that can be their next Let's Play. And it did become the next Let's Play, and it was Ratchet & Clank Tools of Destruction, which started in January 2010. And I'm not happy with that LP, to be honest with you. Even though it was voted for, it didn't really get a lot of good attention. People seemed to just ignore it a lot of the time, and that felt bad, considering that people had voted for it, That was kind of weird. But it was also not the most enjoyable thing to do, I think. Ratchet & Clank's great, and Tools of Destruction is one of my favourite in the series, but I don't know, for some reason just doing an LP of it, I couldn't come up with good commentary for it, if that makes sense. Like, everything else was fine, but that one I just could not do. But yeah, that sort of limped along until June when I finished it. One of my favourite things about that was the titles, though. The titles on that are great. Those of you who don't know, the titles on that are all either song titles or lyrics to things that you can kind of dance to in some way, in reference to the Groovatron. And I love that one predominant thing that I got, even though it was largely ignored, one thing that I did get a lot was people going, are you seriously pulling out song titles? Are you seriously still got lyrics for this? It was so hard to come up with stuff, but I did it, and I'm so proud of myself for doing that for the whole LP. But it was just funny. I do remember getting a lot of comments at the time, basically saying like, "Oh, how do you keep coming up with this stuff?" It was literally just me kind of like going through my music collection or searching online for like songs. I was like, lyrics, this thing, and that's what ended up happening. But it was alright. It wasn't my best, and yeah. And then March 2010 happened, and the direction of my channel suddenly gained a bit more focus. What happened in March 2010? Tomb Raider 4 happened in March 2010. Boom! That's what happened. And of course, Tomb Raider 4 is what I deem to be my first genuinely great LP. Like, I genuinely love what I did with that whole LP. It ran from March to July, and it's really good. I genuinely like what I did with that. I liked a lot of the commentary. Of course, this is where my whole "let's talk to Lara Croft" shtick came from, so that was fun. Yeah, it was good. I liked doing that. Some of the stuff I was coming out with in that LP, like I remember sort of making a joke about her, Lara Croft, getting slave children, and then I realised that Angelina Jolie played her in a movie, and then went, she's like adopted tons of like foreign children, hasn't she? Like children from third world countries, and I was just like, So that was definitely one of my favourite jokes in the whole thing. But yeah, I massively enjoyed that. And there were, like, from start to finish, I was enjoying that. Like, I was just having a blast doing that, and that's why the Tomb Raider thing kind of became a bit of a sticking point for the whole channel forever. But in June, I also started up Uncharted 2, which has also become a bit of a cornerstone of the channel now as well. People liked Uncharted 2, I liked Uncharted 2. My favourite part, personal favourite thing that I did in Uncharted 2 is the subtitles that I gave to Tenzin during the Tibetan section. People loved that, by the way. To this day, I still get comments on that video going, these subtitles are hilarious, I love them. And I keep remembering the bit where, like, he's motioning for binoculars, and I put the subtitle, "I think I'm an owl!" And, yeah, I think back to that, and I have a cool hat, and all of that, and I enjoyed doing that, and I still look back on that, and I'm like, that was funny. I really like that I did that. If I ever got an opportunity to do something like that again, I will do it again. I don't know when I'll do it, or where, but I'll find a way, I'm sure. That one was a bit erratic with updates though, because it started in June 2010, and then I took a hiatus 2 months later, for 3 months. But then when I came back, I didn't start Uncharted 2 up again for another month, so it didn't start again until December 2010. That ran for 2 months, took a month off, and then ran for another 2 months, so I don't know what was going on there. I know I was enjoying doing it, but I think that 3-month hiatus, which is the next part of the history, that was because you might have noticed that I said that I was doing about 3 LPs at once and all this, and I think by that point I was starting to feel a bit burnt out, that I was just trying to do too much stuff and not really looking after myself as well. And I think I was having some frustrations with YouTube at the time, because in researching a lot of this, I did actually look up a lot of the old updates, because I've got an old playlist of update videos. I don't know why I made a playlist video of update videos, but whatever. And, yeah, there was one where, at that time, where I was just like, oh, YouTube's upload thing is broken. It's always broken. I do remember that point, though, when it did, like, horrendously break down. I think it was just a case of doing too much at once and not really sort of looking after myself outside of that, and that's a problem. So, yeah, it didn't really go down too well with those 3 months. And this was the first of many hiatuses that ended up happening during the course of this whole mess. In November 2010, I came back and I did the Tomb Raider 1 an anniversary comparison LP. That proved quite popular. People seemed to like that. I enjoyed doing it, and I really liked the concept of it. But here's the problem, because I got so in love with the concept on it, I was like, right, I've done a clever thing here. I need to do clever things with all my LPs, and this is where things started going wrong. I did an LP of Beyond Good and Evil in February 2011, and I always forget that I did an LP of that game because my heart honestly wasn't in it. And this was another one of those games where I was just like, I really want to do it because I like the game, but didn't really have anything to say about it, and kind of slogged through it a little bit. It went on for 2 months, took a month off, 1 month, and then it just stopped for a while. But in April 2011, that's when I did my initial run of the Fatal Frame 2 LP, and remember I said about this whole, as soon as I did the Tomb Raider anniversary thing, I was like, oh, all my LPs have got to be clever. That was me trying to be clever. Yeah, so I was really into like Marble Hornets and Everyman Hybrid and all that kind of stuff that was going on at the time, and I was into all that and decided I'm going to do a Fatal Frame 2 LP because I was going to do it as like a Halloween special, but of course I took the 3-month hiatus to sort of look after myself a bit. And I was like, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do like the Lost Halloween special. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to put like loads of Slender Man stuff in there, Slender Man references. It was a nightmare to edit. It was horrible. And the thing is, I'd written like this whole storyline of how it would like relate with the game. I kept forgetting where I was. I kept forgetting what was happening with it, and lots of logistical problems happened. There was a whole month with no updates on that, or any updates at all for that matter. Then that kind of limped along until November, and then I just kind of stopped LPing again. I did do an advent calendar in December, and that was fun. That was where I had Bunny guesting, because that was during the time that we were close. Yes, that was the time where we started chatting, and we were kind of on the verge of getting together, and all of that stuff. Yes. Beyond Good and Evil, I decided to bring it back and start sort of limping it up to the way to the end in April 2012. And yeah, that kind of just went to the end. Then I decided I'm going to do the anniversary thing again, and I'm going to do Sonic Generations. And that was a good LP, actually. You thought I was going to criticize it heavily. No, I actually really liked the Sonic Generations LP. I had a lot of fun doing that one. Probably because, again, while it was another concept LP, it was like Anniversary. It was another one where the concept was kind of clear and straightforward, and that's kind of what you know. It's like, oh, it's mostly just recording the game, but sometimes you're recording clips of other games, but you know exactly where they're slotting in, and that's all you really have to do. There was like I did decide to do like a really weird storyline where the Time Eater from the game was also affecting the LP and was like pulling in clips of LPs from a dimension where I actually did finish the whole Sonic series Let's Plays thing that I planned to do, but then stopped after Sonic Adventure. That's what the thing was, if you didn't get it. To this day, I still haven't posted the last part of that. Whoops. And I keep forgetting about it. I thought I did, and then I got a comment like a few months back saying, so are you going to finish this? I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. Because, okay, Sonic Generations, Beyond Good and Evil, they hadn't got much attention, but they'd kind of been limping along and doing all this kind of stuff, and I think by that point my heart just wasn't in it, because I was trying to be too experimental, but also my updates were kind of all over the place. Again, probably because I was being too experimental, and I was like, I'm going to go back to basics. I'm going to go back to basics, and I'm going to do the things that people really love, which is Tomb Raider and Uncharted. And that's where I decided to do Tomb Raider 2 and Uncharted 3, and I was going to do those two, and run them together. And so in November 2012, that's what started up, and it ran for a while, and then sort of by April 2013, I'd also started working on the PlayStation All-Stars series around this point in time as well. I can't remember exactly when I started putting the notes together and everything, but it was shortly after release of the game, possibly slightly before as well. But yeah, I started putting all that together, and I was losing a lot of faith in the Let's Plays. I wasn't enjoying making them as much anymore. And you can see this sort of in the middle of the Tomb Raider 2 and Uncharted 3 LPs, around about part 9 of each. I'm just like, and then I just disappeared. I just stopped doing any Let's Play updates, and I carried on focusing on the PlayStation All-Star series because that was getting good audience numbers, and I was enjoying it, and I was really into it. And yeah, that's what happened. And I was going to do like an update video to say, oh yeah, I'm quitting LPs forever, and that was what I was genuinely going to do. And I just didn't even have it in me to do that at the time. But I carried on with the PlayStation All-Star stuff, and that's basically what the channel was for 2 years, pretty much. It was December 2014 I came back with Tomb Raider 2 and Uncharted 3, finished those off, because I don't know what it was, something energized me. Oh, I know what it was. It was a panel that Chip Cheesem, General Ironicus, Voidburger, and Geop from Something Awful did at C2E2, I believe it was, and they posted the video of it on YouTube, and I watched it, and like they were sort of there talking about what YouTube Let's Plays were like and all the rest of it, and the way they were talking about doing Let's Plays, just the passion within it, and all of that, I started feeling a bit more inspired about that, and December 2014 I brought the LPs back, and I'm very happy with how the LP ended. Both of those LPs ended up turning out by the end of them. But yeah, and then into 2015 they ran, and 2015 for me was me basically tying up a load of loose ends. So I finished off the Tomb Raider 2 and Uncharted 3 LPs. I decided to give Fatal Frame 2 a much needed, much deserved proper LP, and that's what you got. Full 100% walkthrough, no nonsense storyline, just me playing the game, having fun with it. I really enjoyed doing Fatal Frame 2. I really enjoyed doing it. It was a lot of fun to come back and do that one and do it properly. Then in August of last year, I did Tomb Raider 3, started that up, and that was good. But the problem I have with Tomb Raider 3 is that I felt that whole LP was just me retreading ground, in all honesty. Like, I wasn't really pushing myself to do something interesting with my commentary or with anything. It was another Tomb Raider game. It was me making fun of Lara and having conversations. You'll notice in that LP that I kind of started running out of material in regard to what those arguments were, and it basically just boiled down to poor people are terrible people, and just her yelling that over and over again, which wasn't really that funny, I thought. And the facts kind of got a little bit annoying as well, because I was just retreading ground that I did in Tomb Raider 2. And it's alright, and I'm proud of Tomb Raider 3, but I think I need to do stuff going forward that's a little bit more varied than just Tomb Raider every other LP, especially classic Tomb Raiders. And I think, to be fair, that is the last classic Tomb Raider LP you will see from me. You will not see Chronicles, and then everything else is newer. So yeah, but I think it was good. Plenty of good moments, but I think my heart was like not really in it by the end. If that makes sense. Just not in the same way as before. Like, I was enjoying it, but at the same time I was just like, I kind of want to do other things. I want to do other games, things that aren't Tomb Raider. Of course, Halloween, I did my Resident Evil playthrough. That was a lot of fun to do. I really enjoyed doing that, and it was really good to actually finish Resident Evil for the first time. So yeah! So I'm happy with that. And you guys seem to enjoy that too. And I still remember the bit with the Ropples, where like Jill does a yeah pose at the screen when something's turned on. I'm like, that was the moment of that LP as far as I'm concerned. And that was a lot of fun to do, and I might have to do something similar for Halloween this year. I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't thought that far ahead, sort of. We'll get to that in a second, but of course... And then of course I did the Advent Calendar in 2015. Again, I brought it back after 4 years of it not being there because it's 2011, and then it skips to 2015, so that's an interesting one. And yeah, that was kind of fun. And I really like doing the Advent Calendar again. That was a lot of fun to do, and people really seem to like doing that coming up as well. So that's where the channel has been. And one thing stands out with that for the whole time is that 2009 I did tons of stuff. After that, things got messy, and I kept trying weird things and doing things that didn't make a lot of sense and things that I kept taking loads of time off because I kept pushing things too hard and then kind of burning out a little bit and not really taking time out to step back and really think about what I was doing. I didn't really vary what I was doing very much at times as well. Like, I'd be stuck on a single LP for the longest time. Like, I would just, like I said, I dragged out Beyond Good and Evil for the longest time, even though I just didn't really want to do it, and I was just there, whatever. And I think that contributes to why my sort of sub numbers, why my view numbers aren't great, because people don't really know who I am, because that inconsistency didn't really keep people. People who were here didn't really stick around because they were just like, well, he's not uploading anymore. And those of you who did stick around, thank you very much. Thank you for staying here, and I hope you stick with the channel into the future, of course. But then I think it also became harder for other people to find me, and I think people maybe saw the erratic updates and were just like, yeah, I won't bother. Which leads us to now. Where are we now? So, start of 2016, I went into this year with one thing in mind. I have enjoyed doing a lot of the Let's Plays I've been doing over the last year, which is basically me returning full-time. Well, not full-time, like that implies that I'm doing this as a job. I do have a separate job and I work this stuff around it. But, me kind of more regularly updating, doing more things again and getting back into the groove. This, I'm happy with where I am. I think based on where I've been and how messy the channel has been up to this point, to get to the point that I am at now is fantastic, and I really like where I'm at. And my objective is, for the next year, is to make this channel even better, in every way that I possibly can. You've already seen my first attempts at this. Okay, so 2016 starts, and I came in with a plan, which was, rather than do one LP, and then think about what the next LP is, like as that's sort of uploading, I would plan out the whole year. So I know every Let's Play I'm doing for the rest of the year. This is kind of an experiment as well, in and of itself, where I'm like planning well in advance and having like a distinct direction for the channel for the next 12 months. But it goes further than that, a lot of what I've been doing, because there have been other things that I've been considering doing that I've also started putting into place. So, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale History is a great series, but there are a lot of errors, there are a lot of things missing, and the quality isn't great, even though the footage that I recorded, for the most part, is pretty good quality. So obviously I've mentioned this before, there will be remasters of that series coming up over the next 12 months. Don't know if I'll get them all up in the next year, but I'm doing my best. I have been working on Sackboy, but Sackboy I pretty much am building from the ground up again. When I say that, it's more, I re-recorded all the commentary, so what I'm doing is I'm just editing down all of that, editing the commentary, and then sticking all the old footage to it, and then having to tweak everything around the new commentary, as well as putting in within that I'm putting new stuff. Whereas future videos are going to be me pretty much just building on what's already there, like tweaking bits, adding little bits here and there, but for the most part it'll be the same. Sackboy's the only one, well, Sackboy's one of 3 that is essentially being built from the ground up, sort of. So Sackboy, I've had to redo all the commentary because I wasn't happy with it, and Cat, I'm redoing all the footage. Gravity Rush Remastered recently came out, and I did pick it up, and I have been recording footage of that, so that'll be worked into all of that stuff. And then Spike I've got to rebuild as well, because for some reason the actual project file has disappeared. Like, the little edits where I've chopped the footage down to the bits I need, all of those are there, but the actual final project file, not there anymore. The whole thing's gone, it's just a picture of Spike. Like the little drawing of Spike that I've got, that Bunny did. That's all that's in there. And I'm like, where did it go? I don't know, but I've got to rebuild the whole video. as a result, so that one might take a while. But the rest of them, it's all going to be like, I'm going to add in a section here, maybe tweak something here. Like for Jack, I'm going to completely replace the level 1 section, but all the other bits are going to remain the same. There's going to be like a couple of little things like, oh, this is also an intro, and that's like slotted in. And also, as we've seen over the last couple of weeks, I think, I've been doing the Ferrets First series, and this is what allows me to put some variation in the channel, without me doing too much extra work, because most of those are pretty much just, I play through and it's unedited and there's no thing. I do run through them just in case like there's any sort of coughs or noises or anything that I feel like I should remove, but other than that, it's largely unedited. And those videos seem to be very popular so far as well. I've enjoyed doing them, and that is done as well as a compromise, because I do get people asking me like, are you ever going to do another blind LP? Are you ever going to do things that people liked Resident Evil and like the Advent Calendar, because a lot of that's just me kind of kicking back and playing a game all chill, whereas the majority of my main Let's Plays I'm doing a focus on, this is a walkthrough, but it's also trying to be informative and entertaining at the same time. So it's a bit of a clash there, and I think sometimes people just want to kick back and watch someone play a game. And that's kind of what the Ferrets First thing is. It's kind of a compromise, because I'm never doing a blind LP, and I don't really like the idea of doing many games as just kind of, I'm going to kick back and play this, But yeah, that's where the channel's at right now. So where's it going to go in future? My plan is to try and build up the audience figures again. It's going to be, I'm climbing a big ass hill here, but I reckon I'm going to do it. I think that I'm going to work harder on making my videos as good as I possibly can. Try and improve my commentary. The quality's already improved, the visual quality has already improved, and just do whatever I can to make the videos as attractive as possible to people, because I do feel proud of what I do. I do really like what I do. And what I've been doing with Mirror's Edge, I really like Mirror's Edge, the LP. It is a fantastic Let's Play, and I hope you guys agree with me on this. If you don't, then you're wrong, because it's really good. I don't care. But yeah, that's where it's at, really. And there's another thing that I'm going to be doing over the next 12 months. So, last year, the way things were going was that I would do a Let's Play, and I would finish the Let's Play, and then start the next one. That's not how things are going to work this year. This video is going up the same time as the new intro video. If you have watched the new intro video, you might have a sense of what I'm about to tell you. So, here we go. This is going to be fun. I am going to be overlapping Let's Plays. If you've been paying attention over the last few weeks, you will notice that I have actually been saying about Mirror's Edge how far ahead I am in recording. Some of you may have been wondering, well, if you've finished recording all of Mirror's Edge, then what are you doing now? I am not going to be having Let's Plays run one after the other. I am going to have Let's Plays overlap. Usually by, a month or so. Nothing major, nothing extreme, nothing like the mess of 2009 where I was doing 3 LPs for the whole year. Nothing like that. But I'm doubling up on my recordings each week. And then still doing like one chapter a week, one level a week, whatever. But I'm recording 2 a week. And the idea is that once I've finished recording one Let's Play, I start recording the next one. Once I've got a decent backlog of that one, then it starts going up. So, if you've watched the intro video, you will notice at the very end of that, there was the thing that said, and this starts in February 2016. When this goes up, it's the 19th of February. There's not much of February left. The next Let's Play starts next week. Mirror's Edge is still going to carry on, as always. You're still going to get that. Every Wednesday you're going to get a Mirror's Edge part until the end of the game. That's done. All of that's recorded, that's ready to go. And I'm editing them 1 a week. So you'll get them as they come out. But next week, a new Let's Play will start alongside Mirror's Edge. I'm done with Mirror's Edge in terms of recording, like I said. So my focus, recording-wise, is entirely on this new one. But you're getting 2 Let's Plays at once to watch, if that makes sense. Obviously, if you watch the intro video, you know exactly what this is, but I'm going to lead into this, because weirdly enough, what's happening now kind of feels like what happened right at the beginning of my channel. The first game I LP'd for the channel was a first-person action-adventure game with a bit of puzzling going on. It also has a theme tune called Still Alive. My current Let's Play is a first-person action-adventure game with a bit of puzzling going on that has a theme tune called Still Alive. This led into me playing a game that was a port, and I was playing that game for the first time, and it's kind of a weird, quirky Japanese game. That's what's happening next week. You're getting another one of those. It's another port of a game, and as I record it for the LP, it is literally the first time I'm playing this game. Oh, but I thought you said you weren't going to do blind LPs. Here's the difference between this LP and Okami. Okami was done completely blind. However, the game that I have purchased recently for this Let's Play, you might have already figured where this is going if you haven't seen the intro video. If you've seen the intro video, you know exactly where this is going. If you haven't seen the intro video, you might be able to figure this out. But this game came out recently, but I did play it in its original form before it got its port recently. And it's a game that, in its original form, I couldn't really have done a Let's Play of. And the reason for that is because recording it in its original form would have produced really terrible footage. But do you need evidence that this game would have provided really bad footage? Because I have evidence of this. I have evidence of how bad the footage of this game would have been if I'd done a Let's Play of it in its original form. Go watch a video of mine. It's called PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale History Cat. So, you already know where this is going now, don't you? Yes. So remember I said that I've recently purchased Gravity Rush Remastered? And I've been recording footage for that, so that I can remake Cat's video. I didn't tell you the full story. What I've been recording has been a Let's Play. I will use the footage of that Let's Play in Cat's remastered video, but that's not all you're getting. Next week, you're getting Let's Play Gravity Rush, using the PS4 version that got released earlier this month. And as I play and that's what I'm getting at with this whole thing of it's the first time I played it. First time I played it on PS4, but I did play it on Vita, so it's not a blind LP. Bits of it will be blind because I never played any of the DLC missions, but I'm researching those, whatever. So yeah, that's what you get next week. It starts next week. It's gonna be Mirror's Edge Wednesday, and you're gonna get Gravity Rush on Saturday. Saturday is gonna be the first thing. There will be times where Gravity Rush will be split into a couple of parts, because there'll be parts where I do the challenge missions, there'll be parts where I do the DLC stuff, and I'll separate those into their own parts. But they'll be uploaded within the same week as the main episode. And when that happens, I'll fiddle with the upload schedule. And that's what you're getting. It starts next week. Boom. Dropped that one on you. Didn't see that one coming, did you? There have been so many times in the last, God knows how many weeks. Pretty much since the start of the year that I've kept wanting to talk about Gravity Rush a lot on Twitter and stuff like that, and I'm just no, you say nothing, you do not say a word. The only hint that I've given, outside of outright telling patrons what's going on, the only thing that I have officially hinted at in any way was on one occasion I linked to a song from the Gravity Rush mashup album that someone made, where basically they made mashups out of the Gravity Rush soundtrack, which is fantastic, by the way. You should go check that one out. And that's the only hint I've given, but there's been so many times I've just been I want to say things, I want to do, last week's Chatty Corner, I mentioned Gravity Rush about 3 times, for no good reason, and I edited every single reference out, because I was just no, you take this out, you do not hint at it, you just drop it on them. If there's anything I missed, potentially, and I let something slip, I wouldn't be surprised. But if you didn't see this coming, then there you go. If you did see it coming, then well done. Well done you. But yeah, Gravity Rush will be starting next week. because I've started recording that. So that's the future of the channel. And for the rest of the year, you're going to be getting overlapping LPs. I'm not going to tell you what else I've planned. Come on, I'm going to keep some secrets from you. Of course I am. I might do something for October for Halloween again. I don't know what. I haven't really thought that one through. Because again, that one's going to be a kind of like, when I get there, I'll kick back and play something. That's the idea. An advent calendar will continue in December, of course, because I'm going to do that as a regular thing every year. At this point going forward, as long as this channel stays active, as long as we can keep going. I want to make this channel just bigger and better, and you can just do it. Yeah. So yeah, that's this week's Chatty Corner. Really, it's just me rambling on about the channel, where it's been, and all of that. And for those of you who've been with me for a lot of that time, thank you so much for sticking around for all of that time, especially when things got messy and weird and experimental and I just had no idea what the hell I was doing. I'm amazed that you stuck with me for all of that time. Thank you to those of you who joined through the PlayStation All-Star stuff and chose to watch the Let's Play stuff too, because I know that there are some of you out there who did that. Thank you to those of you, because did not have to stick around once the PlayStation All-Star stuff was finished, but some of you did, and you started watching the Let's Plays and commenting on all of that, and I've seen your names around, and yeah, and I really, really, really appreciate absolutely every single one of you who watches my videos, who comments on my videos. I know that I've started doing a thing at the end of the Chatty Corner where I say, like, I hope you have a good week, and I hope you have a good time, and all this kind of stuff, and it seems almost blasé when I say it, of just like, that I really appreciate you, but I do. Like, I genuinely really appreciate the fact that there are tons of you out there. You're a small group, small bunch, and you're not always the most chatty, but I know you're there, and I know you're watching, and I am incredibly grateful that you continue to come back and watch what I do. And for that, and especially to those of you who donate to me on Patreon, that is just fantastic. And, you know, I set that up as an experiment. I'm not making a lot of money from it right now. That's fair enough, and that's fine, and I didn't expect to make tons from it immediately anyway. But those of you who are donating, thank you so much. And again, thank you to everyone who watches, thank you to everyone who comments, and to repay all of that, I really do just want to make this channel even better in 2016. I want to make it more professional. I want to make it less weird and experimental. I want it to be just straightforward. You know what you're getting, but still like varied. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, none of the kind of like, oh, Slender Man's in Fatal Frame 2. None of that stuff. Get rid of that. Get out. We're not doing that again. No, none of that stuff. None of the just straightforward, entertaining walkthroughs of games that I think cool. That is my thing. And I've been saying this for a while, but that's my thing. And it's just about making videos that you guys can watch as legitimate walkthroughs, but also can just watch and enjoy and have a good time with. And I don't even know what to say. I just thank you. Thank you, everyone. And I really, really hope going forward that this channel's just going to get even better. And I'm going to do my best to make this as great for you as possible as well. Now, obviously, there is the concern with my many hiatuses over the years of what has happened there. I feel like that does need to be addressed before we go ahead. Because obviously, if I planned a whole year out, there is probably a concern in there, like, oh, are you going to go randomly on hiatus halfway through that? No. I am confident that I won't do that. See, again, the channel was fairly anarchic and I was just doing like all of the things to have all of the videos up. That was fine, but I didn't really take time out for myself to just chill, to relax, to do my own thing, wherever and whenever. I'm doing that a lot more now, and the way that I'm doing things, even though I'm doubling stuff up, I'm still, you know, it's like at most 2 recordings a week. In a 7-day week, so that's 2 days where I'm recording stuff. I'll always be like putting edits together on the weekends more than anything else. Most of my midweek stuff is either I'll randomly do some ferrets first stuff if I'm interested in doing it, but that's the kind of whenever I feel like doing it. If I don't feel like doing it, I won't do it. That's the simple fact of that. And then there's research and stuff I'll be doing during the week as well, but that's about it. And I do take more time out for myself, and I look after myself more, and I've got a better handle on my social anxiety and my depression. Still a lot of issues with that, but the fact that I'm talking so openly about it shows that there are differences. I am controlling it a little bit better. It is a personal issue, and it's not an issue I like to necessarily talk about a lot, but it's something that I feel needs to be addressed. The hiatuses are not going to happen again. That is a promise that I can make to you guys, because I am enjoying what I'm doing again. This is probably the most I've enjoyed what I've been doing on this channel. In all honesty, like, I don't know what it is, but I've just sitting down and doing that plan got me really excited. Doing the ferrets first stuff continually gets me excited. Even the Gravity Rush stuff that I've started recording has been amazing, and I'm really happy with how it's turning out so far. And I think I'm just learning to appreciate what I'm doing, and learning to appreciate you guys who are around. I know that my channel isn't very big right now, and sometimes that can be disheartening, but I just remember there are people out there who really, really like what I do, and that's important. As long as they're there, that's what matters. I don't know why I said there. As long as you're there, then that's what matters. And again, thank you so much for everything. All of you who continue to watch and enjoy my videos. I really hope that you like where the channel's going to go in the next year, because I'm just going to make it amazing. And yeah, that's everything for this week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you next week with a proper Chatty Corner. And I'll see you next week with the start of Gravity Rush and more Mirror's Edge. And maybe some ferrets first. I don't know what I'm going to have up next week in that sense, but we'll see. We'll see. Until then, I'll see you around. Bye!